Welcome back to the Stretch the Floor podcast. I'm Matthew here, as always, with Venushan, and today we have a pretty special one. There's been a lot of talk of expansion recently in the league. The level of talent has never been higher in the NBA, and there could easily be two teams added and keeping the level of basketball pretty much almost exactly where it is. We see guys like not even playing that could totally be starting for a lot of teams. So Seattle and Vegas are the rumored teams, but let's just pretend those are two teams that we're going to be expanding for. This is a two-part series. First episode, we're just going to be going through what if we were the GMs of all 30 teams, which 5 players would we protect, which players would we expose, and then the follow-up next week is going to be the actual draft. We're going to be, I guess you'll take Seattle, I'll take Vegas or whatever, and we'll just pick players that we want. So let's this is going to be a long one. Let's get into this first one. The players that we're going to be protecting. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. Where should we just go? What do you want to do? Like by division or
we'll just go like the first seed. We'll just go like that with the Heat.
Okay. We'll start with the Heat. The Heat and So do you want to just start at the top of the Eastern Conference and just go seed by seed?
Yeah.
Number 1 Heat.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with the Heat. Right. You go first.
So I'll give my 5 for the Heat, which is Lowry, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Duncan Robinson.
This one's a pretty easy one, in my opinion. The guys that you're really leaving out of this are like Max Strus and like Victor Oladipo. Like this is easy. The Heat is a no-brainer. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no discussion about the Heat. I think everyone will agree this is their 5. This is essentially their starting 5 with their 6 men.
Yeah.
And PJ Tucker is too old to be on this list. But yeah, I think we can just move on straight to the Sixers.
Let's do Philadelphia. All right, so I'll go. Pretty easy. James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, and do I want to keep Tobias Harris? I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna go with what's his name? Shake Milton.
Wow. I guess Tobias Harris, you just kind of want to lose him, but yeah. I could see that. I would probably keep Tobias Harris over Shake Milton, just because Shake Milton's not that good at basketball. But yeah,
I mean, you can keep Korkmaz, you could keep Danny Green if you want. I don't know. I just think they're paying Tobias Harris all-star money, and he's just not playing at an all-star level for them, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think they would rather trade Tobias Harris money rather than just lose him, because then it's going to be hard to work on the cap. But yeah, that's definitely Sixers is definitely an interesting one. And Tobias Harris could be like one of those players that raise up an eyebrow. So we'll leave Tobias Harris as an available person to draft.
Okay.
For next episode.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, but like I guess this brings up the question of like, if he has any trade value whatsoever, you keep him. Do you think you could trade that contract though? That's the question.
Yeah, if someone takes him off your hand, maybe it's just better, and you could just sign someone for like better mid levels and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting
because it's choice. A pretty unique. Yeah, it's a pretty unique opportunity in that. How often are you able to just dump a contract just like that for nothing? Like, you don't have to give up anything. You don't have to give up any assets, nothing. You can just get rid of a contract. That's kind of what I was thinking with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, to make it interesting, we'll say that he's an available player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the Bucks. You go now.
The Bucks. Okay. The Bucks. Who do I have for the Bucks? Well, I think I can just do it off the top of my head. It's Giannis.
Yeah.
It's Drew Holiday. It's Chris Middleton. And then you think about the other two, I think it's Grayson Allen and Pat Connaughton.
See, I think it's Pat Connaughton and
Bobby Portis. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think Pat Connaughton's less than Grayson Allen actually.
Because he's older, 29 years old. Yeah. They're both shooting over 40 from 3, but Grayson Allen's 26, Connaughton's 29, Portis is 26. So
yeah. So Pat Connaughton is a solid role player who's gonna get picked up. And he's definitely gonna perform well on these expansion teams coming up the bench, being a solid backup shooting as well forward. But Bobby Portis is just too important for them. Once that's 5, and Grayson Allen is just too young, and he's playing too well with them already. to give up.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, Celtics, pretty easy. Obviously Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and new addition Derek White.
Yeah, I don't think there's even a 6 that's close to that. So yeah, I think
there's not even anyone notable that would be
Al Horford, but he makes sense.
Yeah,
old and
I'll write his name down.
Yeah,
might as well. All right. Next up, we got the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, this was the hardest one by far because Lonzo, Levine, DeMar, and Vucevic are locks, right? The big four.
Yeah.
And then it's Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, or Pat Williams. And I think you have to keep Pat Williams for his versatility.
Agreed.
But that really leaves Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu, who are going to be kind of like headlining the next the draft because they're young, they have potential, they could really, put it on when they need to. And Kobe White's someone who's entertaining. Like if he's on his own team, he could really like average a good amount of points.
I agree. I think you have to go with Kobe White. It hurts to give up Ayo Dosunmu. The rookie year, he's been like pretty good for them. The numbers aren't like super impressive, but he's it definitely hurts to give him up because he looks like he could be like a nice young like bench point guard probably going forward. But I agree with you. It has to be Kobe White.
No, I'm saying you have to have Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu.
You have to do both?
It's Lonzo, DeMar, Levine.
Oh yeah,
Vucevic, and Pat
oh,
Williams.
My bad. I completely forgot about Vucevic. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Now, is there a world where Vucevic gets exposed in this, or does he have too much trade value? Is there a world where Vucevic gets exposed, or is there just too much trade value there?
Way too much trade value. Might as well just keep him and see what happens.
Yeah.
You're not going to let him go.
Yeah. I can't count because, okay, so you're exposing both Dosunmu and Kobe White. So those guys are going to be, like you said, headlining guys that teams are going to be looking at.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that definitely hurts for the Bulls. Moving on, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers have maybe one of the most exciting fives that they get to protect. It's obviously going to be Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Colin Sexton, and
Karis LeVert.
And Karis LeVert. That means you're exposing Okoro, you're exposing Markkanen, so you're still exposing some good players.
Yeah.
But that five, you're pretty excited about that five.
Yeah, and this five, which we're going to see next year, has a lot of potential, and this is why I like the Cavs five going into next year, because you're going to have 3 ball handlers with 2 elite bigs, and you're going to have Darius Garland and Colin Sexton and Karis LeVert who could get their own shot, dribble, and score 20 points. And you're going to have bigs who are going to be improving even better defensively in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and who will also get you 20 points. You can have a very versatile starting five, and then you could just put the bench pieces around them where they just have enough shooting and they have enough spacing and enough defense. And this could definitely be a team that improves massively next season and takes a jump into that top 4 and potentially even further, because Evan Mobley is that generational talent who could have a second-year huge jump and be the best player on the team. He's like already in like all NBA defensive team stocks. So he take that push, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the Cavs are next year. Agreed.
This is one of the, like I said, most exciting. If you're a Cleveland fan, this is such a core that you can root for. Definitely expect them to make that push. Although we said the same thing about Atlanta, we thought Atlanta was like established last year as like that top of the Eastern Conference type of team, and they kind of hasn't happened this year. But I just think Cleveland has too much. Like they got the scoring talent in Garland, they have the two-way talent in Mobley. Jared Allen's just such a solid defender, right? And you got
team. It's a team.
It's a team. Now, in terms of the players they're going to exposing, I mentioned Markkanen, I mentioned Okoro. Kevin Love too is going to be on expiring, so maybe that is kind of enticing.
I think he just makes a little too much money to spend a pick on, but definitely going to be.
Well, because think about if that's true, but Kevin Love, like say he was on an expiring deal right now, playing the way he is right now, That's pretty enticing to maybe a team making like a push at a like a like say like the Lakers. The Lakers would probably trade Russell Westbrook for Kevin Love, I guess is what
Kevin
I'm saying.
Love.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like the type of thing I'm saying. But I don't know. He probably makes too much money to spend a pick on. That's true. Okay, moving on. We got Toronto Raptors, another pretty easy 5 in my opinion. You go ahead. Very easy.
The starting 5: Freddie, Gary Trent Jr., OG, Pascal, Scotty Barnes. Starting 5 is a lock. I don't think any Raptors fans will argue this, so we can just move on to the next team.
I guess to note, so that means Chris Boucher is being exposed, right?
Flynn.
That means Malachi Flynn, Precious Achua.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty much it, right? Yeah.
Yep. Birch, I guess, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well write them down. Yeah, so I'm just writing this down here. Okay, moving on. We have the Brooklyn Nets. This is another pretty easy one. Obviously, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and then I think Seth Curry is someone you want to hang on to, and then Joe Harris, obviously, as well.
Yeah, Joe Harris, even though he's been playing this year, we know how important his shooting and his 40% shooting is. And everyone else they have is like on expiring or old. So like Drummond, LaMarcus Aldridge, and everyone like those guys. So
Claxton.
Yeah, Claxton is probably their biggest guy, but nothing really too much they're exposing.
No, nothing crazy. Okay, Hornets.
Yeah. Hornets, I'll go. I think this is a pretty easy one too. I think LaMelo, Terry Rozier, Bridges are all locks. I think PJ Washington and Gordon Hayward are just better than Kelly Oubre. So I think those two get in, and Kelly Oubre and Book Knight is left exposed.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the Atlanta Hawks. This one is not easy.
Hard. Yeah.
This one is not easy. So obviously Trae Young, obviously John Collins, and honestly the rest you could debate. DeAndre Hunter, I would say. I like Okongwu too. Young, really good two-way guy. And then for me, the last spot comes down to Herter and Bogdanovich. And Herter's younger. He's 23, whereas Bogdanovich is 29. So probably lean Herter there, but it's not easy.
Yeah. The reason I lean Herter is purely because of his age. And he just fits alongside Trae Young and John Collins better, like age-wise and timeline-wise. So I'm going to go him. And someone we haven't mentioned is Clint Capella. We haven't mentioned him because Onyeka Okongwu has kind of been playing better than him this season. And I don't know if that's like injuries catching up to him, that Achilles injury and stuff, but he just isn't the guy he was last season. Right. And I think that's one of the reasons why they've taken a step back and kind of digressed. Right. But I still think he has a very valuable piece in the NBA, and he can still be a very solid player. It's just Onyeka Okongwu is better than him already. So the Hawks have that luxury. Yeah,
Capella, exactly. And he feels like the kind of guy who would go very high in this expansion draft. I think
second pick or something.
Just so solid, not really exciting, but just so solid. And he's just an NBA player, right? So in terms of who they're going to be exposing, that means Bogdanovich is exposed. Yeah. That means, obviously Capella. Gallinari probably makes too much money for anyone to take him, right?
Jalen Johnson is
Jalen Johnson.
Rookie. Yeah. So this would be an interesting question for Hawks fans. Like, if you get to choose 5 players to lock into your team next season, because they're a team that's going to make a lot of trades, would it be Trae Young's a lock? We know everyone wants to keep him. We know John Collins a lock. I think DeAndre Hunter. I think everyone is coming around to him and likes him because pre that little injury he had, he was averaging really good, and he's coming back to it now. So other than health, DeAndre Hunter has been really amazing this season. And then like us, are you going to go Herter and Onyeka Okongwu for more future younger guys to grow with Trae Young and John Collins? Or do you want to get the veterans who are probably better right now in Clint Capella and Bogdanovich? So it's definitely, I want to see what Hawks fans are thinking and who they would keep, because realistically in trades, you'd have to give up the younger guys if you're getting someone good back. But it's definitely an interesting conversation the Hawks front office and Hawks fans are going to have this offseason, because I know this is a huge disappointing season and they're going to make big moves this offseason to come back into the top 4, because just making the playoffs is not the Hawks' ambitions.
For sure. And do you think we've always been kind of advocating for the Hawks to maybe move a couple of their pieces to like get a guy who maybe fits better? If there were expansion coming up, that would be the perfect opportunity, right? Cut your 7-man rotation or your 7-man core down to 5 if you can. You know, get a Capella out of there, get a trade Bogdanovich for like, I don't know, I can't really think of one right now, but just like another all-star caliber player.
Someone I would like them to trade for, just throwing it out here, is Miles Turner. I think that's someone who defensively could really work well with Hollins and Trae Young.
Yeah. It feels like Miles Turner is kind of fits well on every team in the NBA, right? A center who could protect the rim and shoot threes. He fits well on every team in the NBA. But yeah, okay,
exactly.
Let's move on to the Wizards. Wizards don't really have nearly as exciting of a core, in my opinion. Did I go? So you go for the Wizards.
Yeah, I think it's I think Beal, Kuzma, Danny Avdija, and Rui Hachimura are locks. And I'm just gonna lock in Porzingis. Just let it at least try, right? Let the Beal and Porzingis at least have one season together. So, and who are they really exposing? Thomas Bryant, Daniel Gafford,
Corey Kispert.
Sure. Corey Kispert, like not really, really crazy pieces, right?
This is tough because, like I said, you don't very often get the opportunity to just dump salary for no reason or without giving up anything.
Yeah.
But Porzingis has shown flashes of like maybe his former self.
Exactly.
So do you want to like maybe give him an opportunity with Beal one full season?
Yeah, you have
maybe. To. Then again, you're exposing like Daniel Gafford's okay. Like he's someone who would get taken in the draft probably.
Yeah.
And Corey Kispert would, I think, 100% get taken just because he's a rookie this year and he's a shooter. So, but yeah, probably. I don't know. Like, what are you really losing too much? So we'll write down Corey Kispert and Daniel Gafford. Who else did you say was being exposed?
Thomas Bryant, KCP.
Yeah.
Just a solid bench, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Like those players are not players that you like feel too heartbroken about losing, but like if I saw those guys in the expansion draft, I'd be like, okay, like good NBA player, Thomas Bryant, Daniel Gafford, KCP, you know, good NBA player. So whatever. Okay, the New York Knicks. This one is kind of an interesting case. So, for the New York Knicks, obviously, RJ Barrett, you're gonna hang on to. You're gonna hang on to Emmanuel Quickley, Mitchell Robinson. Those 3 are locks, and Obi Toppin, I guess, right, would be someone else you want to hang on to.
Yeah.
The question becomes, do you want to expose Julius Randle in the draft? Julius Randle was an all-star last year. He makes quite a bit of money. He hasn't really been his all-star caliber form this year. The question is, I'm a little split on this. Would you expose him or not?
I really like this question of, is Julius Randle's contract bad? And I do think it's a bad contract, but I don't think it has no trade value. I don't think it's a Westbrook contract. I don't think it's a Tobias Harris contract.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's one of those contracts. So I would keep Julius Randle and expose Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, all those guys. And just take a risk, you know, probably lose Grimes, but I think I would keep Julius Randle just because I feel like he has some trade value.
Yeah, I agree. He's not like, this is not a Russell Westbrook type of situation where he has no trade value whatsoever. He was an all-star last year. He was like a top 7 MVP candidate last year, something like that.
Yeah, second NBA, all NBA,
second team all NBA. Yeah, I think he has at least a little bit of trade value. So anyone that has even a sliver of trade value, I think you hang on to. So so in terms of who the Knicks are exposing, is it like
Quentin Grimes,
Alec Burks? Yeah,
Grimes. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Alec Burks. Yeah, some of these guys might.
Rose.
Yeah. Some of these guys are probably on expiring deals, and I have no idea. So they'd probably be free agents in this scenario anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But right, I guess you're exposing Cam Reddish too.
Oh yeah, Cam Reddish. Right? That's gonna be a good pick. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I like that.
Yeah. Fournier, I forgot him. Man, there's some pretty good players in this. All right, let's move on. It's going faster than I thought. Indiana Pacers. You go ahead.
Tyrese Halliburton, Brogdon, Turner, Isaiah Jackson, Chris Duarte. Easy. Yeah.
That means you're exposing Buddy Hield, right?
Yep.
And
TJ McConnell.
O'Shea Brissett, right?
Yep.
TJ McConnell.
That's about it.
O'Shea Brissett. That is pretty much it, right? Did you say TJ Warren or?
Oh no, TJ Warren is exposed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't played in so long that it would be crazy to like protect him.
Yeah. I guess you're exposing Goga Bitadze as well.
Pistons.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons. So obviously, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey coming off a 53-point performance. Jeremy Grant obviously has trade value. Killian Hayes, young, he's a second-year player. Hang on to him, and Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, easy. So, are they even exposing anyone like noteworthy at all?
Kelly
Olynyk, yeah, and I guess that's it, right? Corey Joseph.
Yeah, not much.
Not really, not too much. Marvin Bagley.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. Little flyer at the end of the draft. Yeah.
Marvin Bagley's. That's a big one. Yeah.
Okay, final team, Orlando Magic in the East.
Yeah, so this is the huge one because this is the guys that's going to be exposed that are going to get drafted early because you're protecting Cole Anthony, you're protecting Jalen Suggs, you're protecting Franz Wagner, you're protecting Wendell Carter, and I think you're protecting Mo Bamba.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's your 5. So that leaves exposed Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, and Chuma Okeke. Those are 3 young, good players that are going to get picked, and RJ Hampton. That's 4 young, good players who are going to get picked.
Yeah. So wait, sorry. You said you're protecting Cole Anthony, Suggs, Wagner, Carter, and Bamba. So Bamba over Okeke. So that means you're exposing Okeke, Fultz, and RJ Hampton. Yeah.
And John Isaac.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And Jonathan Isaac, and I guess Gary Harris, but whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's actually okay. This is a good one. Yeah. So we got Isaac, we got RJ Hampton. We've got Terrence Ross. So good.
Terrence Ross, yeah.
So good.
I have his name down.
Yeah. What did we say? Fultz. And what was the last one?
Kiki.
Oh, Kiki, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of good players in the Magic, surprisingly. Okay. All right. So I guess we can move on to the West. I have like 3 pages of players written down right now. Okay. So moving on to the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns are easy. The Suns are Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and Cam Johnson. Easy.
Yeah.
Very, very easy in terms of who they're exposing.
Jake Crowder.
Yeah, pretty much just Jake Crowder.
Campaign. He's been playing pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty much right. Does Mac Biyombo? Yeah.
I don't know. Right?
No. Landry Shamet? Torrey Craig.
Maybe. Good shoot.
Right?
Yeah. JaVale McGee.
Yeah. Aaron Holiday.
Yeah, I don't know about all those players. I just have Campaign and JaVale McGee went down.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Number 2, Grizzlies. Who do you got for the Grizzlies?
This one's pretty easy. I got John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Clark.
Yep.
Brandon Clark.
Yeah.
And the last one, I think I'm keeping Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, agreed. So that means you're exposing what? Steven Adams,
Tillman, Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
Not that much.
D'Anthony Melton. Pretty good.
Melton. I'm gonna rate him down.
Yeah. Melton's pretty good. Yeah.
But look how much names we have written down. That's how you know this. Like good. The talent's high.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, we have the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are pretty easy as well. Obviously, you're keeping the big three: Curry, Clay, Draymond, All-Star Wiggins, and second overall pick James Wiseman.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy we're keeping Wiseman over Poole, but you just have to keep him for the fit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means Jordan Poole is a big name that's going to be exposed, right? That means
probably pick number one. Not to spoil the draft, but
he'll be definitely up there. Yeah. Otto Porter.
I ain't writing that down. I'm already that. You know what else I'm writing down? Kuminga and Moody.
Definitely Kuminga. Definitely Moody. Right. Juan Toscano Anderson, good glue guy. Kevin Looney.
Oh, Looney, maybe.
Yeah.
Good bench guy, but I think I like my back.
Dunk contest champion Juan Toscano Anderson.
Did
he win? No, he lost. Sorry, in the finals. I didn't even watch it. That was just pathetic. Yeah. Okay. Bielitsa, he's not bad.
I ain't picking him.
Okay, Utah Jazz. This one is also pretty straightforward in my opinion. You give yours.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Bogdanovich, and Royce O'Neal.
Easy. So that means Utah Jazz are exposing Jordan Clarkson.
Oh, Clarkson, yeah. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and that's about it.
Pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
We just move straight to the Mavs.
Let's go to is it the Mavs next, or is it the?
Yeah,
it is the Mavs. Okay, so Dallas, obviously, Luka Doncic, obviously Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber.
Now with the rise of Spencer Dinwiddie, I think I would keep him over Tim Hardaway Jr.
Over Tim Hardaway Jr. Really?
Let Tim Hardaway's just go if someone wants that $20 million contract.
Right.
For an injured player. Yeah. So I think Tim Hardaway Jr.
So you think you would rather keep Dorian Finney-Smith than Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Oh, easily. That defense is a must keep on that team. Yeah. Same with Maxi Kleber, like his defense and his switchability and his 3-point shooting must keep. And you just add those with the three guards of Luka, Lawrence, and Spencer Dinwiddie. You can fill out the rest of their team and you can still be good.
Yeah, I guess this is just kind of based. How much do you believe the recent resurgence of Spencer Dinwiddie? Right.
You have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's done it in the past, and he had a little bit of a dip, but he's back doing it again. And Luka Doncic needs all the ball handling help I think he can get. Like just the more guys who can come in there and take some of the pressure off him. So maybe that's kind of a toss up in my opinion, but we'll write Hardaway Junior down. And I don't really think they're giving up anything else notable.
No, not really.
Davis Bertans? No.
No, I don't.
Dwight Powell?
I don't think he's that good, but yeah, it's worth writing down.
Dwight Powell?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's move on to
Nuggets.
The Nuggets and the Nuggets best core in the NBA, maybe. Jokic, Murray, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Will Barton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
That means
but they are giving up someone huge.
They are.
Monte Morris.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Monte Morris, they're out. Bones Highland, pretty nice, good young player too, right?
Yeah.
So Monte Morris, Bones Highland, they're giving up. Bones Highland.
Yep.
And that's Bryn Forbes, okay, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much it. Okay, so let's move on to Minnesota Timberwolves. Who do you have them keeping?
I think this is extremely easy as well. Conley Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, they're big three. And then the two defensive guys in Vanderbilt, and Jaden McDaniels.
Right.
This means they sadly are giving up Patrick Beverley, but he's just too old to really justify keeping. So Patrick Beverley and Beasley is open to get drafted.
Yep. Malik Beasley and
Patrick Beverley. That's about it.
Pretty much.
Nas Reed.
Yeah, Nas Reed, he's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty easy that one. Clippers, obviously Kawhi PG, Norman Powell, Reggie Jackson, and Ivica Zubats.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're giving up Covington.
They're giving up Terrence Mann.
Yeah. Terrence Mann. He's
Yeah.
someone that's going to be interesting to draft. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Covington. Right. And Terrence Mann. And that is
Batum.
Nick Batum. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Okay. Lakers. Who are the Lakers keeping?
LeBron, Anthony Davis, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, and THT.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Obviously that means Westbrook is going to be exposed.
That's it, because everyone else
sucks.
Yeah.
So Carmelo Anthony, he's on an expiring, right? So Carmelo Anthony's going to be free agent. So whatever. Dwight Howard's also on an expiring, I believe. Stanley Johnson, not bad, right?
He ain't getting picked.
No, he's bad. Okay. Right. Pelicans, obviously Zion, Brandon Ingram, CJ, Jonas Valanciunas, and breakout player Herb Jones.
Yeah, that defense, you just have to keep it. But that leaves Jackson Hayes available, which is pretty good.
Devontae Graham.
Oh, yeah, Devontae Graham, Jackson Hayes, pretty solid.
I guess the question is, would you rather keep Devontae Graham or Herb Jones? Or which two are you keeping out of JV, Devontae Graham, and Herb Jones?
Yeah, and I think JV, and they just locked them in as in, like, when you see them with Zion, it just looks better, right? That defense and big men shooting, so.
Yeah, that means.
For Zion, you keep it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're not exposing anyone else. Good. Okay. Right. So let's move on to the next team here, which is the Blazers. Who do you have the Blazers keeping?
Dame Simons, and I was thinking, I don't want to keep, like, I was thinking like Nurkic is kind of like expiring, but I'll still keep Nurkic, Josh Hart, and Nasir Little.
Agreed. The only other candidates would be Winslow,
but that's it.
That's really it. Yeah. Just looking through them right now. I agree. So that means the only notable player you're really exposing is Winslow, if you can call him notable, right? So, right. So we'll call so Justice Winslow, right? Okay. So on to the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, you're gonna keep DeJounte Murray. You're gonna keep Keldon Johnson, De Vassell, and then I guess Lonnie Walker and Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
So that means you're exposing Josh Primo, right?
Yep. He's going to be picked because he's young and he has potential.
Yep. Josh Primo, you're exposing Trey Jones. That's not really whatever. Josh Richardson, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. That's pretty much it though. Josh Richardson and Josh Primo. So we'll have to see how high Josh Primo goes in our mock draft, because I'm not really sure. Right. Okay. Kings should be easy. Who do you got for the Kings?
Fox, Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, Dante DiVincenzo. The actual 5 players who could be starters on NBA teams. But this also means you're probably leaving the best center available to draft.
Yes.
Venushan Holmes.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
So this means both the expansion teams are going to have a good center. Capella and Holmes.
Yeah. Holmes is going high in this draft. For some reason, I'm looking at their depth chart right now, and they have him listed as center number 7. So I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But okay, yeah, agreed. Who else are you giving up? Because Terrence Davis, I guess, if you think anything of him.
Oh yeah, I like him. I rate him
down. Jeremy Lamb.
I don't. Okay.
No, he used to be okay.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alex Len, all that hurts giving him up. No,
oh yeah.
Okay, on to the Thunder. Thunder, obviously Shea, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Trey Mann has been pretty good, and I think you just have to hang on to Poku just for his potential, right?
Yeah, this is a team where they're like they're building for the future. They have their picks. That's what they don't want to give up, and so they're happy with this expansion draft at this time because they could definitely be back quicker because everyone gets a little worse.
Exactly. Luckily, you don't have to expose your picks in this expansion draft. So when the guys are giving up are pretty much like they're not giving up anything, right?
Not really.
Baisley, maybe if someone wants him. Maladin, Isaiah Roby, if you think anything of those guys. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Not really. Okay, couple teams left here, getting towards the bottom of the West. One team actually left, the Houston Rockets. Who do you have them keeping?
Jalen Green, KPJ, that's their backcourt.
Mm-hmm.
Tate is their like small forward / power forward. So keep him. Keep Wood because he has potential as the center going forward. And he keeps Sengun because he's kind of been good at passing and he has shown flashes of, have maybe potential like a baby Jokic, baby Sabonis kind of play style. And he's shown that, so you want to keep that. But yeah, you keep those guys and you expose. Can't remember. I forgot they even had Shooter, but
same.
Shooter, Shooter. They exposed Shooter and John Wall.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon, all these big contracts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Eric Gordon, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay, so that pretty much does it, right? For everyone we're protecting. How many so I don't know I don't think there's rules out, like official rules for the expansion draft. So when we do this, I guess how many spots do you want to draft for each team? 12, 15 spots each team?
No, we'll do 5 starters and 5 bench.
And 5 bench.
Just keep it simple.
All right.
And then for that we'll do that. So we'll do that next week. We'll wrap this up for this week. So this is kind of like a setup. This is kind of the intro to next week.
Yeah.
So that's why we're kind of writing down players. You're getting your prepped and everything. We're kind of going through the thought process. This is just a thought process NBA GMs would have in the expansion draft. And obviously, one thing we can't do that NBA GMs would do and what happened in a flurry is a bunch of trades would happen.
Oh yeah,
because you don't want to lose. Like there's some teams who protected older players that they didn't really like that much, right?
Right.
So if you trade them Kuminga and Moody for Miles Turner, this is a much more likely trade now because
exactly
you're gonna just give him up. So why not trade him and get that protection and like get that all sorted out? So you're gonna see a lot more trades happen, and you're gonna see a lot more things happen. And also one thing we didn't take into account is free agents. Like we kind of just locked it in at this year's contracts because someone like Zach LaVine we protected. He's technically a free agent, and an expansion team isn't going to draft a free agent because they're going to resign, right?
Yeah.
So we simplified the process a lot to make it more digestible and make it more just fun. Because if we look at all the stuff, let's try to pre-plan drafts and trades and stuff, we're just going to our own world. We're trying to keep it this world just a little fun instead of creating a separate world. But yeah, this is why we want expansion drafts, man, because you have these protections, which is going to be something to talk about. You have trades, which is something to be talked about. Then you have the actual expansion draft to talk about. Yeah. Then you have how the expansion teams are going to do. Then you're going to talk about Memphis going to the East and how that's going to impact the switch in conferences. So this is where we want this expansion draft to happen. And by the time this does happen, someone like LeBron James might be retired because it might happen 5 years from now. So LeBron might be retired and hopefully LeBron can own a team, man. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
LeBron and Michael Jordan are both owning teams, the greatest players. So that'd be really fun to see.
Yeah. And the smart GMs, the Daryl Morey's, the Masai Ujiri's will use this as an opportunity to do something, right? Whether it's dump a bad contract, whether it's some sort of some sort of rigging to make this work in their favor, they will find a way to do that. So
those are the two teams that kind of benefit most from this because they have really good fives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. If you have a good five and not too, and your
Strong
depth past that is not too notable, you actually benefit from this because teams that are more built on depth lose their depth and you retain everything, right? So, Anyway, that's probably enough for this one. We're going to be back next week doing our actual draft. That's going to be pretty interesting. But thank you everyone for tuning into this one. We'll be back next week like we always are. In the meantime, check us out on all of our social medias, Instagram at Stretch the Floor Podcast, YouTube STF Clips, subscribe there. And most importantly, subscribe to the podcast feed, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get them. Leave a rating, review because it all really helps with the algorithm. Thank you again, and we will see you next week for our actual expansion draft.